death is inevitable, but the journey between when you're born and before your death is what truly matters. That would help us to remind ourselves that every day is your chance to make a difference and fulfill that dream.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Millie Leung. Previously, episode 494 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 2 years, 8 months, 19 days, 11 hours, and 30 minutes since we last recorded.
Always dream big, start small, and act now. Go after your dreams and you can do it. You have a special gift in this world. So go after your dreams and make the best for your life.
That was then. This is now. Millie Lee, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing wonderful. So good to connect with you again, Angel.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. The last time we spoke, we did go over 12 minutes. It was that type of conversation, right? Where things got exciting. You were bringing so much of a great content to the conversation. We appreciate that tremendously. What's going on? Tell us, what's new? The last time we spoke, the book was out, right? Mind and Money Makeover.
Yeah.
The children were there.
Yeah, the girls definitely grown up. The younger one, 6 years old. The older one is 9. They're traveling the world.
Wow.
I've been doing a lot of traveling. Like I said, I enjoy travel a lot, and that's part of my business as well. I have a travel business that I continue to build. So that's doing well and been quite busy. Visited 8 new countries, I think, since the last time we spoke,
Wow.
including Tahiti, Norway, Sweden, Finland to see the real Santa Claus,
Wow.
Denmark, Fiji, I think Dubai, and many other cities. So it's been quite exciting.
And you're visiting, speaking when you visit, or is it the
Oh,
travel
those are
side?
vacations. Those are all vacations.
Well done.
Yes, I brought my family, my 2 girls, to really just go experience a lot of things. While they're still young, I think creating memories, like I said the last time, is really important. But yes, I have been speaking around the world as well. Since we last spoke, I did have quite a number of speaking engagements. So, been speaking in the Philippines, been speaking in Macau, Malaysia a few times, in South Africa. That was very interesting. And also spoke in the USA in front of 24,000
Oh
people.
my.
So that was kind of mind blowing, but a very, very exciting opportunity.
That's amazing. So you're helping individuals, budding entrepreneurs. Is that the theme of the conversation still?
Yeah, travelpreneur, but I also, my passion is really helping women into entrepreneurship and also become financially independent. So I have a lot of passion in that. And that's kind of the area, the niche that I'm working on, that I always want to empower, inspire more women to become financially independent by going to doing their own business and doing things that they truly love so they can fulfill their dreams.
And again, this is something that you've done. It's not something that you read in a book. You are the particular character in this story, and you're helping others with their story. Is that accurate?
Yes, yes. So gone through a lot of trial and error because as I shared last time, I started off pretty much with no experience, no network, very little money, and with a newborn child. About just thinking about it 7.5 years ago,
Hmm.
and with nothing. And from there on, just a lot of trial and error, a lot of failure, but I consider every failure a lesson and just continue on and building on it. And of course, along the way, doing a lot of personal growth, learning a lot, and talking to people around the world, learning from mentors, and that helped me to continue to grow to where I am today. Very thankful.
How has your choices impacted your husband?
Oh, he's
David, right?
actually, yeah, he loves it. So I was able to help him retire from his full-time architecture job a
Sweet.
few years ago. So he no longer required to work. However, at this age, it's not really productive to sit around and not do anything. So he has time and choices and now to pursue his interest. And he actually got into virtual reality. So he now design VR programs and games and simulation for government, etc. So it's been a very interesting ride.
And you were very, very intentional about the girls and letting them have the type of education you had when you had this Australian road trip with your family, right? How has that been going with them?
Yes, every travel experience, I think, add to the bonding, add to the experiences, and also help to broaden the horizon. Meeting people from different culture, meeting people from all walks of life. I think that is real education rather than just education inside the school classroom. So I consider that part really important, and I encourage any parents who have children to really try to explore the world and bring the children to see the world as well.
Mm. When we first spoke, you were so much into personal development. You were doing 20 minutes per day. What has that evolved into now?
I am still doing that. I'm still doing that. I love it. I read a lot of books. Recently started listening to podcasts as well. So also, of course, YouTube, things that I really enjoy learning. Again, a lot of them in the personal development niche, entrepreneurship, investment, financial independence, etc., etc. So learning has really helped me a lot. And I want to share some good news too. Like I think it's a lot of personal growth that recently I actually won a few awards. So I want to share that with you.
Please do, sure.
So I won the Best Personal Brand Award for Women Empowerment by the Singapore Marketing Institute in 2017. That's after we connected. So that's really into really having started to develop my own brand that stands for empowering women.
Mm.
I'm really proud of that. And I'm going to continue to do more work on that. And just very recently, a few months ago, I got appointed as the Global Goodwill Ambassador for 2019. I don't know if I shared with you last time, but I really have a lot of interest in humanitarian work,
Yes, you
like
did.
helping underprivileged children around the world. So I go on volunteers, go to volunteer day. And since the last time we connected, I also very honored and be able to donate a few schools to help children in underprivileged countries. So I've also had the privilege of visiting some of those schools. So it's really, really heartwarming. And thinking about just I started my journey 7.5 years ago and I didn't have any background. I mean, it really is proof that if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Hmm. Well, when I listened to the conversation with not having a background, I wanted to push back on that a bit. And I think when you say that, you are expressing that you didn't have like the entrepreneurial background from the
Mm.
perspective of what we are taught is necessary to become an entrepreneur. But I'm pushing back, and you can tell me if you agree with this line of thought or not. But the concept of what was passed on from you being in the middle class in Hong Kong, from your dad being an engineer, from your mom being that person that was a work at home mom, just being like the things that were needed then for her to create a family. You have one brother.
Mm-hmm.
To take that particular scenario and create all that they both created for you talks about the ingenuity, right, of them.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that as well? Again, that line of thought.
Yeah, I think every person, how you were brought up, the environment that you grow up with, ultimately that's part of you. So I was very fortunate that my family gave me good values,
Mm,
that I believe in hard work, I believe in personal growth. And I think it's because of that mindset and attitude that also it's very important as I become an entrepreneur. Although I was not taught formally in schools for being an entrepreneur, but a lot of these are really mindset and
mm.
attitude, and that we can apply as we go venture into new things. Don't you
Yeah,
agree?
I totally agree. The persistence that they taught you. With children, we both can agree that more is caught than taught. But
Mm,
yeah, so the things that you were able to capture from what they were doing organically is really beautiful because it is the foundational principles that entrepreneurship is built on. And it's great to see that you decided to catch on with those things. You spoke about life is not a rehearsal. And to that that point, we understand, therefore, that there is an end. So my question to you is, have you had that conversation with death?
Yes, I actually had. One of the things I think really triggered that thought was a few years ago, when I first started out on my entrepreneur journey. One of the very impactful video I saw was a speech by Steve Jobs. I think a lot of people would have probably saw that. And in that YouTube, Steve Jobs said, if you look in the mirror and after a few days, you find that you are doing something that it's not what you want to do, you really need to reassess it, because everybody would die one day, and it's what you do during your lifetime that matters. So it constantly reminds me, if I'm just like that, if I'm doing something for a while and I don't feel like I'm fulfilling, I'm not growing towards the direction I want to continue to make more impact in this world, I feel I'm not doing the best I could. And then I would ask myself, I really give myself some thoughts. I really have a quiet moment, maybe early in the morning or late at night when the kids are sleeping, and really ask myself again, okay, focus. What is it that you want to do? What is the next step? What is the direction? Refocus and get back the energy to keep on moving towards that direction, keep pushing the envelope. So I think the fact that once in a while remind ourselves that death is inevitable, but that the journey between when you're born and before your death is what truly matters, that would help us to remind ourselves that every day is your chance to make a difference and fulfill that dream.
Well, Millie, it gives great pleasure, and I want to say thank you for doing what you are doing by making the decision to follow your path to create what is necessary for your life while you are here on earth. So I do thank you for that. It's a great opportunity to be your podcast accountability partner and check in and say, Millie, have you been doing what you said you were going to do?
Right.
So it brings a great joy to see that. Thank you again. It is both motivational and inspirational. So
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Like I said last time, you still remember, start small, dream big, and act now.
Love it. Millie, again, a great pleasure. Pleasure I treasure. Thank you for being on what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.